The most important, if you look at the career of Sebastian, is the percentage of finish on the podium. That is impressive.
It is indeed impressive. At the end of 2010, the stats read that Sebastian Loeb had won around 44% of the rallies he started. Amazing when you consider the others are way back with around 25%. He's had the longest consecutive streak on the podium, 15 events from 2008 Sardinia to 2009 Argentina. He's won the most variety of events, 22 rallies in different countries. Carlos is the nearest on just 13. He's led a rally from start to finish, a record-breaking 14 times. And he's taken the most wins on Argentina, Spain, Mexico, Monte Carlo, Cyprus and Turkey. Which brings us nicely to Germany, a rally he won on its inception in 2002 and has won ever since, 8 consecutive times, making him and Daniel Elena the only pair to ever win WRC Rally Deutschland.
8 victories consecutively in Deutschland. That is not easy to break this record.
But the pair are not fixated on their incredible record-breaking status.
A lot of time it's journalists said, hey, you break a new record. Oh yes, what? Which record? I don't know. That's unbelievable.
I would say the number of titles and number of victories are the two records really that have some importance for me. For the rest, I don't remember everything because I don't care so much about it. But yeah, for sure, the victory number and the titles is an important one.
Do you think you have something that other drivers don't have?
I don't know. No? You think?
Well, you have a pretty phenomenal record.
Yeah.
What do you think sets you apart from other drivers?
Maybe. Just a few seconds faster on every race, but I don't have any secret, so I cannot say. I don't know.
Which is all very modest for a multiple world champion, a multiple record breaker, and a driver who doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. And as we've seen, sitting next to Loeb all the way and also notching up records is Daniel Elena. As with Loeb, Elena obviously has the most WRC wins for a co-driver, the most championships and the most podiums.
We took experience together and it was a nice story to grow up like that. And what I like is that he's quite relaxed and cool and he doesn't make big mistakes. That's the main thing for a co-driver. So he's able to do both. So that's great.
The good moment it's when you break the record. It's 24 victories, and for the co-driver, and I passed 25. It's a Luis Moya record. For me, it's Moya. It's mythical in the history of WRC.
And Luis Moya is one of 3 co-drivers, other than Elena, who have continually topped the charts. Podium-wise, Moya is second to Elena. His 15-year relationship with Carlos Sainz saw 83 visits to the podium. The pairing drove for most of the WRC's main manufacturers, notching up 24 wins and 2 championships together, and they are widely regarded as the sport's elder statesmen.
We respect each other. I think his attitude to life make my life also easier, and I think we learned from each other, and we were very lucky to meet, to compete, to win, to suffer, and to become at the end successful couple on rallying.
I think to be different in personalities is in any kind of relationship. I think that's good. Carlos, he was so professional. He taught me how to be professional. I didn't know how to be professional. He knew. And he was professional, obviously, since he was a kid. He took everything at the maximum. And then I learned a lot with him.
Wins-wise, Timo Rautiainen is second to Elena with 30 wins. In his 11-year career with Marcus Grönholm, the pairing took 2 championships with Peugeot at the beginning of the century. Successful pairings always seem to feature a yin and yang effect, and Marcus and Timo were no different.
If you look at Marcus and Timo, then for sure Timo was the dominating force and really took control of a lot of the situations. He would know when Marcus was probably on the ragged edge.
You need to trust what he's doing, the co-driver, and reading the notes and no mistakes. If I'm sleeping, I'm doing stupid corners, putting on a paper there, so Timo is always that, hey, it's not right that.
It has to be like this, and he's very, how to say, professional. And okay, sometimes he's quite difficult also, maybe I am also, but that's normal, but as a co-driver he's very good.
The only co-driving record that Daniel Elena doesn't hold is most WRC starts. Some records have Lewis Moyer and Phil Mills tied on 161 each. Some have Mills and a fraction more. But there is no doubt that when Phil Mills left his 11-year partnership with Petter Solberg, he was one of the most experienced co-drivers around.
I'm the guy that is up in the air, and he is very calm and controlled and very serious. Nobody took any energy from each other, and it just was going on very easy. So we just had an enormous enjoy together, you know.
Still to come in WRC record breakers. Which country do you think has bred the most world champions?
What Finland was on gravel was France for tarmac.
And what record do you think the man driving this car broke in 2009? But a little trivia question before the break. As we just heard, Sebastian Loeb has the highest wins to starts ratio, but strangely he doesn't hold the record for the highest podium to starts ratio. Who does? Find out after the break. Welcome back to WRC Record Breakers. Before the break, we asked who holds the record for the highest podiums to start ratio. The answer, Carlos Reutemann. The ex-Formula One Argentinian driver entered 2 Rally Argentinas and finished third on both occasions. A podium to start ratio of 100%. Sebastian Loeb, meanwhile, is hovering just below the 70% mark. With its nickname as the spiritual home of rallying, it will come as no surprise that Finland tops the tables as the most successful nation in the WRC. They have had 13 World Rally Championships. Vatanen, Mikkola, Salonen all scoring 1 apiece. Kankkunen, Mäkinen and Gronholm contributing 10 between them. Rallying is one of the most popular sports in the country, and when you're learning to drive on ice and snow on some of the fastest stages in the world, car control and speed are second nature to the Finns. Finland have the most wins for a nation, scrambling over the 160 mark with Jari-Matti Latvala's Finland 2010 victory. As far as nations go, Finland also topped the charts with the most successful co-drivers, with contributors such as Timo Rautiainen, Seppo Harjanne and Risto Manasamäki. The UK makes its mark here with second place, Nicky Grist, Phil Mills and Robert Reid all playing a major part. France is third, and courtesy of Daniel Elena, the tiny Principality of Monaco is fourth. With the World Championship taking place for almost 40 years, Finland and the UK topped the charts with the most times an event has run, both only missing out once due to event rotation. What may be surprising to some is that France comes in second behind Finland in most other records.
What Finland was on gravel was France for tarmac. The French mountains with these tarmac roads are unique and fantastic to practice over years and years and years. And if you grow up in some of these circumstances and you drive there, then you got something where you can do Monte Carlo, Corsica, all these tarmac events and be bloody good. That's why the French picked up a lot of wins in the past.
Finland have the most podium clean sweeps. 11 times it's been an all-Finnish lockout. New Zealand 2002 being the last, when Gronholm, Rovanperä and Mäkinen locked out the victory ceremony. France are in second with 6 times. Their last was Sanremo 2001 with Gilles Panizzi, a very young-looking Loeb, and Didier Auriol. Finland and France also top the charts with the most top 10 clean sweeps, which is called a Denari. France took the top 10 places on the Corsican Rally in both 1975 and 1979. Finland only managed the top 9, a non-Upel. That was on the 1976 Finland Rally and was headed by Markku Alén. Novikov is famous for doing this.
Narrow. Bend it there.
And this. And this.
Right side, Chris. Right side,
But he's in the record books for being the youngest ever stage winner. He won the boxside stage in Greece in 2009 when he was just 18 years, 8 months and 24 days old. Jari-Matti Latvala is the youngest ever rally winner at 22 years and 313 days. His first ever WRC win in Sweden 2008 was even more poignant as he broke his hero Henri Toivonen's previous record.
It was really an amazing moment because I was beating my Henri Toivonen, my idol's record, so it was a big thing to myself. I really appreciate it a lot.
And how long do you think you'll hold that record for? Do you see it sort of standing for a while?
I hope as long as possible, but it seems that the younger and younger guys are coming to the championship, so I think it will be some point in the future somebody will beat that record, but I hope to be able to keep that record for a few years at least.
In 1990, Bjorn Voldegard became the oldest driver to win a WRC event. At the age of 46 years and 155 days, he took the final of 4 safari wins. And on a cold November day in 1995, Colin McRae became the youngest ever world champion. Aged 27 years, 3 months and 17 days, McRae became both Great Britain's first ever World Rally champion and the youngest on record.
It was clear from the very first time I sat in the car with Colin when he first came to see us as probably, I don't know, 19 or 20-year-old or something. It was clear that he had the talent to win World Championship rallies and maybe a World Championship. The only question that we had, and it was a question for a few years, so people that were around at the time will remember, you know, will he ever string it together? Will he ever stay on the road long enough to win a rally or to win a championship? But we knew that when he did, he would do it, and that was really the story of how Colin got to be a world champion, was when he actually learned to go slow enough to win. His problem wasn't going fast enough to win, it was going slow enough to win.
Now, 15 years later, there are differences in opinion as to whether that record can ever be broken.
I think if you look at Jari-Matti and Sebastian Ogier and so on, they are guys that could win a world championship, you know, at the same sort of age that Colin did it. There's just some guy that refuses to go away that's, you know, made it difficult. But other than that, they are developing at that rate. They're already winning rallies. They're already fast. And it won't be long before they're beating him anyway, or before he stands back and we'll have a young world champion.
I think rallying has changed a little bit now. The experience does count for a lot more. With only 2 passages on the recce and things like that, does make it more difficult. So I really think that Colin's record's going to stay intact for quite some time.
In the WRC, success can so quickly turn to failure. There is no way to measure emotion, but here are our top 5 candidates for a record no driver wishes to hold, the shortest time from winning to losing, and we'll leave you to decide which you think should be at the top of that list.
Thank you.
Do you think it should be Petter Solberg in Japan in 2005, who had led the rally almost from the beginning, only to hit a rock on the penultimate stage and end it in tears?
Petter, 900 metres into the second last stage and the car's parked in the trees. Can you tell us how it happened?
Or should it be Colin McRae, who threw away all chances of his second world title when he did this at Rally GB 2001?
I knew that the car was going to go deeper into the apex than what I had wanted it to. But you know, you make that split-second decision to let it go, or you try and correct it, and there was space and time to correct it. But I made the decision to go with the line the car was going to take. I knew at the time that the impacts that we were taking, the car wasn't going to drive again. So, you know, I knew even before the accident had ended that that was a championship.